Righty. The list seems to have leveled off. Want to thank everybody for joining us. As we know, it is extremely busy out there. Very condensed peak. I know some of the volume has been surprising to a lot of people. So you taking time out of the day to join us is greatly appreciated. Once again, I'm Ken Kibler, Director of Training and Client Business Support. We're going to go through a little presentation, pull you away from peak a little bit, get you looking forward to 2025. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or the Q&A, and we will get to those. Without further ado, I will turn this over to Jeff Walczak. Thank you very much.
All right, as Ken said, thanks for showing up today. We know everybody's busy, so we'll get right to it. And we want to make sure that eTruckBiz is not endorsed, sponsored, approved, or otherwise affiliated with FedEx Corporation. So we know that some of you on here are new to eTruckBiz and the FedEx space. My name is Jeff Walczak, and I want to let you know that our team is here to help you organize, optimize, and maximize your businesses so that you can proudly own, build, and grow your FedEx-based transportation company. First off is look at the volume trends. It's pretty cool to look at that, but guess what? Peak, wait till you see this. On the pickup side, these are on the vans now, but the stops are back, but not at a record level, believe it or not, for last week. But, oh dear. Look at those pickup packages. They hit the roof, literally. So if you look at where this was, where we were, we thought this was pretty exciting as far as volume level. Well, it dipped for the Thanksgiving week, but oh my goodness, is it out of there, out of this world. That's a pretty bold move. And then on the delivery side, that's a really big move. And as Ken just said, we don't have the final numbers yet or something to really hang our hat on, but this is probably very much in excess of the projected volumes. And you're probably seeing that in your terminals. Now, we haven't heard of anybody really being behind yet, but we'll see. Unless, Ken, you heard something.
We're seeing some service levels that are dipping into the low 90s, and a couple facilities they up on Sundays, but then the decline starts on Monday again. Luckily, we're seeing some really good results by our customers. We're happy to see that and running far ahead of what the station averages are.
Okay, so the next question is, what about productivity? Oof, look at how many routes got dispatched. That was pretty strong, and that's an extra day for a lot of folks running heavier on Saturday, Sunday. That's fine. That's understandable, but look at that productivity. That's great. 13 stops per dispatch improvement over where we normally are. That's huge. That's huge. The question then is, can we do that more often? I think you can. We're going to see something here in a second. So another thing to think about is, especially if this is your first time through peak, or actually, I don't think the last couple peaks have been this strong. So the next question is, well, what's going to happen next? Let's look at last year to get some kind of idea. If you see here on this graph, we're showing last year's peak. And we hit a peak about this time last year. And if you look, the volume started to drift back or down, right? Probably what's going to happen this time, but watch where it goes down to. So in the old days, it used to be you'd reach a peak volume and you drop back after peak, but you wouldn't drop back to where you were before peak, if it makes any sense. They usually would bring new customers on and they would stay with you through peak. And that's what we're trying to show here, that you may not drop back to the volumes you were at before peak. There should be more there. So if this is where we could drop back to, and this is actually a significant area here from last peak, things are going to be strong, but just watch it the first couple, 2-3 weeks of January. Okay. So we know there's things are going on today, but just keep in mind that this is going to happen. Many of our business support system clients are on here. So today I see a lot of new names. A lot of you folks are looking at maybe getting into business, that kind of thing. Some of you, and then usually our audience every week is made up of support system clients. So what we want to do is recognize some really good performances here. So first of all, the 200 Club, what is this? These are drivers that have averaged for, I guess this is a week, Ken?
The week ending last Friday, they averaged over 200 stops for the entire week. So from Saturday through Friday.
A lot of people would say you can't do that. They can't do that. Well, guess what these folks did? They averaged over 200 stops a day for the week. That's outstanding. So a couple folks from Anthony's. Good job, Elena. Good job to Adam and Rodolfo. Good job. And then Mr. Speed, I saw you on here. Of course, you have some superstars in the universe here, but there you go. There's some folks that average more than 200. That's good job, Michael and Corey.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Hey, can I just say something here too? I do John Speed's vetter coaching. And Corey, if you look at Corey, averaged 241 stops. Guess how many seatbelt violations he had last week? 0, 0, 0. So there's no excuse. It can be done. Put your seatbelt on. He's putting it on every time. He's backing first when he backs. He's doing very good, and he's doing it the right way. So it can be done.
Yes, sir. That's great. That's good. Then some daily top performers. And I know that this is coming from what amounts to a week and a half ago. And we know that this last week, there's a lot more folks are going to be on this list next week. But somebody from Fulcrum Blue, Willie, if you're on here, good job.
She's got 246 today.
Oof. Right. So it's going to be another star-studded cast next week. So that's good. And there you go, JB and JF Speed, the Speed Plan, a whole slew of folks doing some really good work there. Mr. Speed, good job. And JB doing a good job. Really good. I'd go through the names, but I get them wrong. And then here's the next one. This is interesting. So here's some top performers. Look at that, 193, 199, 95, 196. And that's really good. But the real thing here is the new owner of Reynolds Brothers, Mr. Matt Schmitz, took over 9 to 10 weeks ago. And these folks are doing productivity levels that were unfathomable. They couldn't even, no way they could do this amount of stops. This is a testament to leadership. And I'd like to think a little bit about the program here, but this is fantastic. Good job, those folks. And then look at that. Wow. That's Elena and her crew, right? Wow. Wow. Stepping up to the challenge. 279 stops? Oh, yeah. 280 stops? Omar?
Hey, Jeff, let me interject here too, if I can. I do their vetter coaching. And I was in watching Abram today. He's not running in and out of his truck. He's putting his seatbelt on at every stop. He's doing it the right way. I was shocked because we were talking earlier in the week and it was like 50 stops an hour. We're like, you can't do that. Can't do that. Well, he's not running in and out. He could be a little bit more organized. I'll bring that up. But he's not walking, but he's brisk walk in and out of the truck, gets in, seatbelts on, and he's moving.
Look at the package count as well,
done.
330 packages on a P1000, correct, Bob?
Yep.
Must all be envelopes, huh? No?
I
Got
think
some good packages on there, huh?
Yeah, this business dispatched over 200 stops per driver day today. So
Outstanding. That's some good stuff. That's a good job. Hopefully you guys are watching this either now or going to watch it via video here. It's a good job. Great. So these results are possible, which is what Bob just said. You want some of those results? You newbies out there, you want something like that? Yes, you're going to want that. Stay tuned. So in the news, there's more optimization afoot. So let's step away from Peak here for a second. There's more optimization afoot over in the Raleigh-Durham area. FedEx to lay off 340 workers in Raleigh and Durham as it cuts and closes shipping centers. FedEx will lay off a few hundred Triangle-based employees, mostly deliverers in Durham and Raleigh. The company notified state and local officials. So they're going to have some folks leave. Affected employees in Durham and Raleigh are not part of a union. The company said it will offer workers options to consider transfer to new locations, severance, or leave of absence during which they may pursue other positions with FedEx. Of the 341 layoffs, more than 250 are couriers. So where this has happened before, and there's been some other places, either it's about to happen in some places or in some places that's already happened, like the west coast of Florida, Panhandle, some other places. Here's a great place, contractors, if you're on here, newbies, if you're on here. Not all, some of these folks will come to work for contractors. We've seen that before. So when they say it in here, they're going to be offered other positions. That's especially the couriers. You can pick up some drivers, right? There's a little bit of opportunity there. So we're going to see this and much more come in 2025. And with this Network 2.0 in mind, we like to spur some thought about what you may want in 2025. So have you thought about next year? I know it's peak. Everybody's got boxes in front of them. You got 10 zillion issues and whatnot that you're worried about. But very quickly here, things are going to change in 2025. We think there are 4 paths that most will want to follow in the new year. We're basing these paths on questions and concerns from current service providers, right? So people are asking us, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Let's take a look at what these 4 things are. What do you want in 2025? So some folks just want to get organized and de-stress their lives. They want to seek, so our suggestions would be, if this is what you want, to seek help doing non-revenue producing tasks and other busy work things. People get bogged down doing stuff, but is the stuff that you do contributing to the betterment of your business? Most of your stress comes from drivers not doing what they're supposed to. Look for ways to increase, I should probably say driver accountability, but accountability in general. So Bob or Ken, do you have any tips here?
Yes, when you hire a new employee, it's always good to set expectations and then hold drivers to those expectations. Now, of course, you can't expect a new driver to deliver 125 stops on day 1, but how much can they do week 1, week 2, week 3, and can they be up to 125 stops by week 4? So, and what's critical is that new hire gets talked to each week, lets them know how they're progressing, hopefully each day, but let them know how they're progressing, and then hold them accountable to achieving their goals. And then once they're used to being held accountable, guess what? All the other drivers, they become a veteran and they'll be used to being held accountable. You want to hold all your drivers accountable, but it starts with your day 1 hires.
Hey, and then too, with the busy work, it's the veteran coaching. Takes a lot of time. Right now I'm doing it for 8 different companies. So trust me, when I tell you it takes time, I'm sure you know it. And then MMRs, completing your MMRs every month. That takes time to get. We need your help getting the invoices to us, but then let us handle that for you.
Okay, another way to get the stress out of your life and get organized is I know a lot of you don't want to do this, but you need to evaluate if your BC is helping or hurting your operation.
And this is tough. This person many times have been to battle with you, gone through peak with you, but are they doing the right things at the right times? And are they the right person to take your business where it needs to go in 2025 or as you roll into Network 2.0. So you have to do an honest observation of this person and evaluation of this person. If you need help evaluating that person, please reach out.
Hey, and Ken, also, is that person, can you promote them to the next level as a GM overlooking 2 terminals? If yes, you can, then that's good. But if you say no, you can't, then what's holding them back?
Another way to get organized and to create a heck of a lot less stress in your life is to get away from managing a services stack in favor of a one-stop shop. Do you have 20 or 30 different services, subscriptions, things you use to do different things? Well, we might have something for you. So what do I want in 2025? Do I want to transform from getting by to having more money than bills at the end of the week? So how would I do that? Find a way to hold yourself accountable for knowing where your dollars are going. Do you know what you're spending money on? Believe it or not, you'd like to think you do, but do you really know? Have a plan, have a budget for what's supposed to be going where. Do you know? Have you ever gone through that exercise? We can help you with this as well, but have you ever gone through the exercise of just trying to look at where you think your money should be going? How about this? Where FedEx thinks you should be spending your money, we can show you that as well. You can create a new rule in 2025. The new rule is you determine how long you require drivers to work, not the drivers figuring out their hours each day or figuring out how long they want to work. Now, in 2025, as you get into Network 2.0, FedEx is going to indirectly help you here, but that's one of the biggest problems out there right now, folks. That's why you can't pay your bills.
So this all centers around our easy number. If you have the right amount of work on the truck, you're going to hit your revenue targets. How you spend it, yeah, that's still going to be up to you. If you've got crazy incentive programs, you might be spending too much in one area. So you've got to watch that. But knowing how many stops you need on the truck, and then that will determine how long that truck has to be on the road. Because if a person can only do 20 stops per hour, guess what? And you're going to tell them that you need them to do 160 stops. Lo and behold, they're going to have to be on the road 8 hours. FedEx is going to tell you that in Network 2.0, what every driver should be doing, or what your overall team should be doing, not driver by driver.
Those numbers that were up earlier too, most of those people are 8 hours, around 8 hours, or 8+. But it can be done. It can be done the right way.
The next thing is to engineer for financial and efficiency reasons, not to accommodate feelings and wants. What do we mean by that? All right. So the next thing some people want in 2025, they want to be ready to handle the many demands and challenges that Network 2.0 and the integration of Express will present. So we said it before, we know there's 20 or 30 folks, the first part of 2025, it's folks, the terminals that are going to go, I don't think it's that many. I think it's like 15 to 20 terminals that are going to have the Express integration. Now we're told that there's another group in April, May, and then a huge group in the second half of 2025. But are you ready for this, right? Do you want to be ready for this? In order to be ready for this, you want to completely understand what is coming and why, right? So we've had numerous webinars, numerous blog posts. This is what we've been harping on for a year now, at least. We want you to understand what's coming on, and then be ready to accept change. If you're saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to change, well, we're going to have to do something about that because things are going to change significantly. Be your team's leader and communicate what is happening and why you need their help and understanding. Let them know what's going on. Why are we doing this? What's going on here? and get a feel and idea what your business looks like on the other side of the transition. It may not be as bad as you think. And we're seeing that with many of the financials as we go through the optimized CSA analyses and some of the other things that we look at. It's actually a pretty good thing, folks, in the end. And lastly, what might I want to do in 2025 is, do I want to grow my business from where it is to a multi-facility, well-run financial powerhouse or 7, and yes, even 8 figures? So what would we want to think about if we're going to do this? So anyways, the opportunity is going to be presented well-run operations. It's already has, right? Some of you have already been offered, not the usual offering of operations, but there's a lot of this afoot right now. And when the calendar turns, look out, because most of you on this call, most of you that are in our programs are well-run operations, and you're going to be asked to take on more. Think about how you will project your culture and processes to remote locations. This is the key to doing this. And let me give you a hint. That's what the BSS is all about, the business support system. We'll learn a little bit more about that here in a second, but it's very difficult, to almost impossible, to run a particular operation a different way in different locations. Many have tried, I'll just tell you, many have tried that and have not been successful trying to do that. You have to do the same things the same ways in different buildings. Then how will you monitor in real time the activity of multiple operations so you can analyze and make corrections quickly from a remote location? How are you going to see into what's happening someplace else and in enough time to do something about it, right? It's another question there. So if you're thinking that you would like some or all of what we just talked about, if you want to make those changes, or those are some of the goals you might have in 2025,
we can help you get what you want. But how will we do this? So you can use our teams to enhance your team by using the business support system. So the business support system is for service providers transitioning to Network 2.0, service providers expanding their operations to multiple facilities, service providers new to the business, and service providers who are remote. Now, our business support system includes 3 different programs, the first one being the Administrative Services Manager program. This is going to focus on the non-revenue producing tasks, and we can handle this for you so you can maximize time effectively. The second program is the Optimized Performance program. This is focusing on the revenue producing tasks that we can help with to maximize efficiency. And the last program is the Expense Management program, focusing on the financial side of your business to help you control costs and get financial results that you want. So by using the business support system, this is going to help simplify payroll, human resources, benefits, recruiting, finance, productivity, taxes and accounting, time tracking, and so much more, and it's all in one place. So if you'd like more information about the business support system, you can get an optimized CSA analysis and negotiation consultation, or the budget analysis. Please make an appointment with me. You can email me to schedule a time, or go directly to this website to book an appointment, and a calendar will pop up to go over. You could choose whichever time works for you, and then we can go over the ETB business support system together. And then if you are booking a budget analysis, I'll just need a little bit of data from you that I will make sure to get before that scheduled session.
great. Let's see if there's any questions or comments. So
Right now, we don't have any questions, but I just want to reiterate those 4 kind of paths that you'll want to take next year, because for a lot of you, it's going to be a year like no other. Moving to Network 2.0 is a big deal. Now, so what we saw this week was a heck of a spike in volume, and we shall see what the volume does next week. So thank you again. Please have a safe and profitable week. We'll see you next Tuesday.